There is a word in Japanese that has no true translation in English. It does not mean toughness. It does not mean stubbornness. It is something deeper, quieter, and far more powerful than either. The word is Gaman, written in kanji as, and for centuries, it has been the invisible backbone of an entire civilization. Tonight, we explore what it means, and what it might still teach us. Gaman comes from Zen Buddhist teachings. In its oldest form, it means enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. Not loud resilience. Not dramatic survival. But a composed, internal bearing of hardship, without complaint, without collapse. The first character, Ga, means self. The second, man, means patience or to bear. Together, the self that endures. A self that does not shatter under pressure. It simply holds. Buddhism reached Japan from China via Korea around the 6th century CE. With it came a philosophy of suffering, not as punishment, but as the fundamental condition of existence. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from clinging, from resistance. Gaman was born from this insight. If pain is inevitable, then our response to it determines everything. The Zen masters taught that within endurance lived a kind of freedom, the freedom of the mind that chooses how to meet what it cannot change. It is lived daily in Japanese society. Children are taught Gaman from an early age, to wait without fussing, to face difficulty without burdening others. In Japan, expressing distress openly has historically been seen as placing weight on the community. Gaman asks, can you carry your share, silently, for the good of all? This value is woven into schools, workplaces, households, and generations. It is the quiet agreement that holds a society together. Long before modern Japan, it was the code of the warrior. The samurai did not fear death, they trained to receive it without flinching. Pain was not the enemy. Weakness of spirit was. The Hagakure, the definitive samurai text written by Yamamoto Tsunetomo in 1716, states, matters of great concern should be treated lightly. In other words, the greater the hardship, the calmer the response. This is Gaman at its sharpest, a blade edge of composure that never breaks. On the 1st of September, 1923, the Great Kanto earthquake struck Japan. Magnitude 7.9. Over 140,000 people killed. Tokyo and Yokohama reduced to ash and rubble. And yet, observers from around the world reported something remarkable. The survivors did not riot. They did not abandon one another. They lined up. They shared. They helped their neighbors before themselves. An American journalist wrote at the time, these people grieve differently. They grieve without breaking. The world was witnessing Gaman in its most devastating and most magnificent form. August 6, 1945. The atomic bomb falls on Hiroshima. An entire city vaporized in a single moment. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced not only physical suffering but social stigma, radiation sickness, and decades of silence. Many did not speak of their pain for years. Not because they felt nothing, but because Gaman demanded that they hold it, so that others around them could continue. Historians have noted that this became, for the hibakusha, both a burden and the only way to survive. March 11, 2011. A 9.0 magnitude earthquake. A tsunami 30 meters high. Nearly 20,000 lives lost. An entire coastline erased. And once again, the world watched in disbelief, not at the destruction, but at the response. No looting. No violence. Orderly evacuation lines stretching kilometers long. Strangers sharing their last food. Businesses giving away supplies freely. A BBC correspondent wrote, Japan does not collapse. It endures. This was not policy. It was not law. It was a value. Japanese psychiatrists and sociologists have long debated its cost. When endurance becomes suppression, when suffering is buried rather than processed, it turns inward. Japan has historically struggled with extraordinarily high rates of work-related exhaustion, a condition called karoshi, death by overwork. Gaman without boundary can become a cage. A culture that never permits weakness to be spoken risks building a society where people suffer in perfect, invisible silence. Every virtue, held too tightly, becomes a wound. Traditional Japanese medicine, influenced by Chinese philosophy, understands emotion as stored within the body. To practice Gaman is not simply to suppress feeling, it is to transform it, to metabolize suffering through breath, movement, and ritual. The practice of ikebana, flower arranging, was historically a form of Gaman, of sitting still with difficulty, of making beauty from impermanence. Tea ceremony, calligraphy, martial arts, all of these were, at their core, disciplines of enduring presence. Today, this approach still pulses through modern Japanese life in ways both visible and invisible. The train that runs to the second. The queue that never breaks. The customer service worker who has been standing for 9 hours and still bows with full sincerity. The student who studies until midnight, not out of ambition alone, but because discipline is the form respect takes. These are not performances. They are a civilization's agreement with itself, that the discomfort of one should not become the disruption of many. It is a courtesy made into character. We live in an era of instant expression. Every discomfort is broadcast. Every frustration performed. Patience has become a radical act. Gaman does not ask us to silence ourselves forever. It asks, before you react, can you first hold? Can you hold the anger long enough to understand it? Can you hold the grief long enough for it to become wisdom? Can you hold the discomfort long enough to discover that you are, in fact, larger than it? This is what Gaman teaches the modern world. The pause, the composure, the choice. The deepest gift of Gaman is not endurance. It is the discovery of enough. When you stop demanding that life be painless, when you release the expectation that every hardship must be solved immediately, you find something remarkable, a quiet sufficiency in simply being here. Japanese poet Matsuo Basho, the great haiku master of the 17th century, captured this in 17 syllables. Even in Kyoto, hearing the cuckoo's cry, I long for Kyoto. Some longing cannot be resolved. It can only be lived. The next time life asks too much of you, when the waiting becomes unbearable, when the loss feels infinite, when the road ahead is unclear, do not immediately reach for distraction, complaint, or escape. Instead, try to sit with it, just a moment longer. Breathe into the discomfort without running. This is the ancient practice. This is Gaman. And in that stillness, if you can find it, you may discover that you are far stronger than you believed. There is a Japanese proverb, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Nana Karobi Yaoki. This in its most human form. Not the absence of falling, but the commitment, quiet, private, unannounced, to rise one more time than you have fallen. No fanfare, no applause, just the decision made in the depths of yourself, that this will not be the end. We hope this wisdom finds you in whatever season you carry today. From great minds, timeless lessons, until next time, endure beautifully.